Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about a new claim made by Sebastian Vettel about a possible return to Red Bull, as well as a new McLaren revelation. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Vettel, who's opened the door to returning to Red Bull in the future as the successor of its motorsport advisor Helmut Marko. Now Marko has been in the role since Red Bull joined the grid in 2005, but Vettel has been linked as the perfect successor to Marko. You know, Vettel has spent a lot of his career with Red Bull and won 4 world championships with them between 2010 and 2013. And while he left at the end of 2014 to go to Ferrari, he has remained on good terms with Red Bull. And while Vettel retired at the end of 2022 and isn't often seen in the F1 paddock, he does remain in communication with Marko. And Vettel told ORF, as quoted by Racing News 365, "I still get along very well with Helmut and we're also in talks. In terms of the subject, being Marko's successor, not so intensive and not so deep yet, but that is perhaps something that could play a role. It remains to be seen in what form. Helmut has said a few times that he's going to quit, but he's still there, and I hope he will be there for a long time. Marko is not replaceable, let's put it that way. He is a character and has made a huge contribution to the team's successes since 2005. Whoever the successor becomes, it would be nice if the work they've put into it continues. I think I know the position very well from my days, but to be honest, I have to admit that I haven't walked around Helmut that closely in recent years. However, I think I do know what he does." Now, I think Vettel could do a good job as a successor to Marko. You know, at the end of the day, he's a 4-time world champion. He's got loads of experience. I think he knows talent when he sees it, and I think he'd be able to bring some really good talent into Red Bull. But let's move on to McLaren, with more being said about their car. Now, in one of my previous videos, I spoke about the McLaren car and its brake system being inspected following the Miami Grand Prix. Basically, the race reported that rival teams have been working to work out exactly where McLaren's advantage is coming from, with the focus having narrowed down to the way McLaren is cooling the outer surface of its rear brake drum, which then helps it in stopping the wheel rim and tyre that sits over it getting too hot. And the race said it understood that following questions posed by McLaren's rivals, the FIA has duly taken a closer look at the McLaren brake design at recent races to find out for itself what's going on. And the publication went on to say that sources suggested that after McLaren secured a 1-2 in Miami, a more thorough inspection of the braking system, ducts and drums was conducted by the FIA. Apparently this was part of the usual post-race checks, and while no formal report has come out following that inspection, such a report usually arrives before the next race weekend, but apparently everything was found in order and therefore legal. So it means rivals have to continue their search for McLaren's tyre secret, but basically, as we know, 2026 there are going to be brand new regulations, so the cars are going to be completely new. But while the cars will be completely different and the tyres will be different and everything will be based on a new set of regulations, according to McLaren team boss Andreas Stella, the basic principles can still be applied. With Stella being quoted by motorsport.com as saying, "I think there are some fundamentals that you can carry over, some fundamentals in terms of understanding that you can carry over into next year's car. Some other aspects will have to understand how to transfer them from this car to next year's car. For instance, the aerodynamic aspects that influence the behaviour of the tyres." Now, if McLaren can transfer the basics of the trick they've got on this year's car into next year's car, that could give them a real advantage next year. So really, it's crucial that rival teams get an understanding of how McLaren are doing what they're doing, because the implications seem to go beyond 2025. And speaking about McLaren during a Dutch media session in Miami, Max Verstappen said, "If you see what McLaren does with the tyres, then we're all doing something wrong. You saw it on intermediates in the rain as well. As soon as the tyres overheat, they then have a massive advantage." And Verstappen went on to tell motorsport.com, "We're doing our best to solve that, but some things take a little bit longer to understand, and then producing it is another story." So it looks like Red Bull and perhaps other teams as well have a bit of a way to go to trying to understand what McLaren is doing. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.